Hello, everyone. E3 is coming. It's like winter in Game of Thrones. Okay, no, it doesn't have the undead. It just has attendees at E3, which are kind of a variance on it. So, Tara and I have been chatting and speculating, pontificating about what the large players are going to do there. And we're up to Nintendo, who I would say that they have their work cut out for them.
Yes, we already know that they're not doing an official press conference this year. From my understanding, they're having a Nintendo Direct at the ungodly hour of 7 a.m. on Tuesday.
Yes, engendering all the goodwill of the gaming press that they possibly could.
So this, I imagine during the Direct presentation, they're going to be focusing on Western games and sort of Japanese ones. It seems like for the actual booth at the show floor, they're just going to be showing off the Western games. I'm expecting to see, a lot of things that we've seen already, things like Pikmin 3 and the Wonderful 101, stuff that they've been talking about for months. But we also know that there's going to be some new games there that they've sort of teased.
I mean, there's things out in the ether. We might see the proper 3D Mario game.
Yeah.
That would be, I guess, what I find confusing about that is, because I really would love to see that. Galaxy, I think, is one of the best games of this past generation. But if they have a game of that significance, then why not do the press conference? Because now you have a rallying point and you have people excited about.
That's a good point, actually. I feel like I actually don't know, I don't know. I feel like maybe they can't fill up enough time for a press conference to really impress people.
I think it also because the space that they have the press conference in, which is the Nokia Theater, which I'm just going to venture a guess, is not cheap to rent out.
Yeah.
They are still using that, but that's where they're talking to their retailers and to their business partners. I imagine that they have a lot of explaining to do. I mean, you go to a GameStop or even a Best Buy, and they only have so much shelf space. And they're going to have a new Sony and a new Microsoft console there. They have to make an explanation as to why they should also be carrying Wii U's since sales have been so bad, and there really is this uncertainty as to what the software is going to look like at the end of the year, and that's what's really going to be selling a Wii U.
Yeah, and I think right now they're sort of trying to appeal more to the audience than to the actual members of the game press. They're going to have these demo stations set up at Best Buy locations around the country where people will be able to go and play the games.
Some of the games.
Some of the games.
Some of the games. I mean, and and that can be very 3DS focused, where they are showing a lot of strength. I recently went to an event. I think it's probably going to be at E3. The kind of spiritual successor to Link to the Past on the 3DS is really, really cool.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, are we going to see anything Zelda-like on the Wii U? I mean, there is that Wind Waker they're supposed to be remaking. It's not the best. I don't think it's what everyone wants to see, but it's something out there to look like, okay, look, there's some games that I would be intrigued in playing. Yeah, there's Pikmin, which I still don't think is a system seller. I think the people who already have the Wii U are the ones who would be buying Pikmin.
Exactly.
I'm trying to figure out, without the press conference, how they can generate that enthusiasm. I know from my days at G4, when we were doing the live broadcast, the highest ratings was Nintendo. I mean, there was just so much kind of loyalty there. And there used to be that, when you would go to E3 and there'd be the running of the nerds when the doors open, a large school of gamers. Are they schools? Or maybe it's a murder of gamers. They would be heading for the Nintendo booth. And I just don't see them trying to start that excitement. The Nintendo Directs are effective at showing things. They're not effective at kind of rallying the troops.
Yeah, and there have been sort of rumors fluttering around about like maybe a new IP from Retro Studios who have sort of proven themselves with Donkey Kong Country Returns and Mario Kart 7, which is another game, by the way, Mario Kart, that they're saying that they might bring another one up.
One of those essential franchises that can get people excited.
And then, of course, Super Smash Bros. 4, which everyone is crazy excited about.
Yeah, the inexplicable endurance of that franchise.
Yes.
To me, it's not just the lack of software, I think, that's been affecting the sales of the Wii U. I think it's overpriced. The proper model is pushing $300. I think there is a chance that we're going to see either a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One coming in with a subsidized. This means you buy a PSN or an Xbox Live account that could actually put it very close to what $300 is. That's not going to be good for the Wii U. The yen is not as overvalued as it has been. That could give Nintendo some easier leeway to get the price down to something a little bit more competitive. But I think we said, like, without software, a price drop really is kind of meaningless.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to make that money back somewhere, and they just don't have the lineup right now to really justify a price drop. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens later in the year, like before holiday seasons, like around the same time that the Xbox and PS4.
And the thing is, I guess that could be the biggest surprise we get out of Nintendo, because that would mean that they have to have a signature piece of software. It's not called Pikmin that comes out at the end of the year that really kind of makes the Wii U a must-have, as I hate to say it, a second console for a lot of people, or at the very least, just get some stimulation in it by having people finally buy some software for the system. Okay, Tara, what do you want to see from Nintendo? What's your number one?
For the 3DS, I'm dying to see the next Link to the Past. I think that's going to be one of the flagship titles for the 3DS. Also Mario Party, because I'm weird and I like Mario Party, don't judge me. For the Wii U, I think I'm actually most excited to see Sonic Lost World. I was always more of a Sega girl than a Nintendo girl. So.
Wow, I mean, yeah, I'm cool on the Sonic, but this looks like at least an A for effort is coming out of Lost World. I'm with you in the 3DS. Link to the Past, Link to the Past, Link to the Past. I know that we're expecting to see something that's Mario. I'm hoping that what we see is an actual sense of the game, and if they have a mechanic as inventive as what the Gravity did in Galaxy, that would definitely get my heart going. But having said that, these three big games we've been talking about, maybe a Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, and a Mario game. Do you think we're gonna actually see these come out this year?
It's hard to say. I feel like they should try to get them out before holiday season because, come the beginning of next year, a lot of people aren't going to care anymore, especially with the new consoles being launched. I feel like the Mario games, I feel like that could wait until 2014 because that's kind of always given, right? They always have a Mario game in development somewhere. So they don't really have to kind of beat the rush for that one. For Sonic, I would be very surprised if it did not come out this year.
Yeah, I expect Sonic this year, but in terms of the three big Nintendo games, I think if they were coming out this year, we'd be going to a press conference.